is a drawing that I finished in the first two videos. It's so exciting to have these memories now. This is the drawing I finished in the last video. Just the thought that at the end of this I'll have a book full of drawings that we made together here. It's a very exciting idea. As you know, I don't know what I'm going to draw. But there's a certain flow that I feel today. Sometimes it's kind of very clear. Today I was thinking about taking you to the garden with me, but it starts to get dark so early now. It's that season where the days are getting shorter and shorter. It's so interesting how we actually get less done. The day feels the same length, but the amount of daylight is shorter, so the evenings and nights are longer. And we don't expect ourselves to do much as far as work once the nighttime is here. So I guess it's easier to relax, rest, and move on to that transition of the next day. It was raining here today. It felt like the first rain. That beautiful smell that you get in the morning after the first rain. You go outside and all the plants are just a little bit greener. You can tell because it's a new growth, it's a lighter green. Plants just love the rainwater. They grow so much more and faster with rainwater. the reason I harvest as much as I can rainwater and keep it for as long as I can. Sometimes people, they make, I don't know if it's fun or they just find it funny when I tell them, like, I see a plant and I'm like, oh, that plant is really happy, you can see it. So I guess they don't think about the idea of plants being happy or not happy, or what does that even mean? But you can tell, you can see when a plant is happy. So once I figure out how to record while gardening, I think that would be really fun. Really, it will be like the equivalent of hearing fresh air. Something more open about it. The sounds, the natural sounds. We have so much wildlife here. This is the sun as it comes out after the rain, provides energy for the plants to grow. Some people worship the sun, some people worship the plant. And some understand that there's no need to worship. You just need to be like the tree that receives the water, receives the sun, and does its part. It's all one system with no separation. Separation is the only illusion, and it takes you away. It's strange because we create false separation from nature. So we are one kind, mankind, but then we create separation within mankind. So how does that make sense? So at least acknowledge you're one kind. And we can be corny and say, be kind. But when there is no separation, there is no one else here. And you realize that you're either kind or mean to yourself. That's the reason I like water, because it's the most non-physical, physical thing we know. We can't see the soul, the spirit. There is one thing that we all are part of and we all share that is equal, that is truly one with no separation. And then when we get to the physical world, there's only one thing that can symbolize that, represent that, and that is water. The water in my body is the same as the water in yours. My body is a building, and we use dirt and different elements to build the building. We use different paint, different buildings have different characters and functions, different abilities. But the thing that dwells in all the buildings is the same. You can tell the difference between my body and your body. But if we took the water, you won't be able to tell the difference. More than that, if you put my water from my body and the water from your body back in the ocean, you will never be able to tell where I start, where you end. We truly go back to being one body. So that's why we use water when we want to talk about consciousness and the soul, your being. Even if water is just a symbol, even if water is absolutely nothing, it is the I don't like using the word best, but what can we do? It's the best symbol for understanding something so abstract as the soul, as consciousness. It's very simple, it's nothing new, it's nothing groundbreaking. From the beginning of time, we have said that about water. Because like I said, you can, if you want to, worship water, make it holy water, and use it in different ways. But even if you don't, use it as a symbol to help you visualize, materialize something as abstract as the soul. Because we are always fighting and striving to achieve higher levels of equality and dignity. So use it as a tool for that. It's not easy to grasp and hold in our mind that duality of me being the individual that I am, yet being part of a larger ocean of consciousness. And the hardest part is when you go back to that ocean, to understand that you will still be that one, but you will also be everyone at once. It's almost like something our mind was not designed to perceive. Which makes sense, because the individual needs to survive. We are in this body for a function. And to achieve that function, we need to take care of our bodies and to do our cellular work, our individual work. If everyone forgot who they are and became that ocean while they're in their individual bodies, that would not work. It will be very messy. So as long as we're in this body, we need to do our work, be a part of the system we're born into, the world we're born into, and always strive to make it better. For ourselves and for the next generation, which is again yourself. So there is the concept of singularity, which is where we came from, being that single being, and then there's the future of our evolution, which is going back to that single being. As we improve our connections, communications, and once again we'll experience all of us at the same time as one. With no separation. The cells in our bodies already experience that. The cells in trees and plants. Your body is made out of 100 trillion cells, and they all function and sustain one being, which is you. So one day, 100 trillion people will wake up one being. It won't even know that there are trillions of dwellers in it. Just like you're not fully aware and connected to the trillions of cells in your body. It will be amazing to see where technology evolves to a point that you will actually understand that it was always biology. It was never technology. I personally believe that we will live forever and expand to the stars. any other pattern of thought will just bring some kind of an end. Because if you don't plan for infinite growth, you will not be able to infinitely grow. And I know that we never die. So living forever is not the main issue. That's not what we need technology for. It's more growing within the limitations of the physical world, of space, that we have chose to be inside of. Gaining independence of movement in space. That's what it looks like from the point of view of a human being. I'm starting to understand what this is. You can see the cycle of water and the energy that propels it into that cycle. It's the yin and yang of the sun and water. It's so funny how perfect it is. As the ocean warms up from the sun, it evaporates and then forms clouds. And as they go up higher, it gets cold and they condense into water drops. And then they get heavy, and the gravity of this rock, they start falling down, and they flow back to the ocean, which then meets the sun, and that cycle repeats. Very simple. There are very few archetypes in the world. And when you let things flow, you land on one of them. It's always fun. This is where the water touches the sun. This is the core of the sun. I imagine that that's what it sounds like. It's this amazing, I'm thinking about the word fusion, or how can something burn consistently all the time? How is there no less? Like the sun should go smaller every day. Whatever it is that is burning out. Yet that's not what we expect. Think about the sun as something that will grow and one day evaporate us. It's easy to overwhelm the mind. All you have to do is think about space. How infinite it is. How that doesn't make sense. Yet, when you understand it, it makes a lot of sense. One of the videos I enjoyed making is about what exists outside of time and space. And it's very philosophical, so it's kind of annoying because of that, but I mean, I love it. I enjoyed making that video so much. But outside of time and space, there is no space. No space, no time. It's one of the most amazing experiences you can have. And you can only have it for a fraction of a second. Because before you know it, a thought suddenly appears, which immediately brings you back to time, space. When you're in that no space, no time, it's like it's so quiet, and that's the thing, words are tricky here, because it's not even that there's nothing, because even nothing has a thing in it. It's before nothing. It's the absolute emptiness. Not in a bad way, because it's a place where one word, one thought immediately sparks an entire universe. So you can meditate a whole lifetime to get to that place. And that millisecond that you're there will immediately spark a whole new universe, a whole new space, time, and everything that follows. As I was trying to answer that question of what exists outside of time and space, that's when I managed to have my millisecond of experiencing it. It's the most meaningful and shortest amount of time at the same. We think of profound experiences as taking time or experiencing it. Here it's like there is no time. There is no experience. And that's the beauty of it. No space, no time. And the possibility of everything. So in our equation, what we have here is matter, which is this pyramid, the elements and the building blocks, those structures. They're passive, they're not active in the equation. We have the sun, the energy, and we have water, which is the active element that is building and making. So water, which is consciousness, uses energy to manipulate matter. And that's this triangle of life. If you have water, it has energy, it can then build architecture and structures from matter. We have yet to find a different system in the universe. We've never seen matter on its own doing anything without water. And we know that only liquid water, which is water that has energy, and that is fully connected, because liquid water is like a society that's fully connected. Only liquid water can build and make. So I think in the next session we'll continue with that. I have a feeling that something is going to happen here from the meeting of those elements. As the rain is pouring down onto matter, it breaks it down into this mud, to the dirt, and then builds new rocks, new mountains, new structures out of it. And then the water continues flowing up to the sky and back down and over again. We take a lot of things for granted, even the dirt, the soil, the sand. All of that was broken down by water. Otherwise there would just be rocks. Everything that happens here happens by water and for water. So I hope you enjoyed this drawing session today. I definitely did. I love this drawing. And have a good night. We'll see you again soon.